Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Inspire Esports. We've got the Chimps going up the Meat Mafia, and actually, we're going to be loading right into map number 2. We did see the Meat Mafia win out map number 1, but we're going to be getting into a brawl right now. So let's just go right into the action right here. Phoenix getting immediately burst down here. Hobbs is taking that offense right up in there. They know exactly where they're hiding, and Hobbs is not afraid to just take the charge in, falling extremely low. Gonna get healed up in the back line, so that's pretty good. But looks like Meat Mafia, they're gonna be getting these picks coming through, and well, hey, this is being casted by me and Spooky. So Spooky, take it away. What just happened with that fight?
Yeah, Mean Mafia, they just get to push forward with the rush comp. They don't take any poke damage, it didn't seem like, or definitely not enough. They get to close with the Chattanooga Chimps without actually taking damage. And then once you're close into that, it's as easy as anything. As we saw with that point, we actually see Hobbs feeling himself on this Reinhardt after that easy first cap, and he goes straight up to the top of the castle, tries to get the pin, doesn't quite, but so far Mean Mafia have been dominating this game. I know we got brought up a little bit late because of some technical issues on our side, but Mean Mafia, they're already up 1-0, and it was not a close map 1. So I'm excited to see if Chattanooga Chimps can come back from this one, but so far, Marks, it doesn't look like they're getting much of anything. Gallant taken for a ride as Hobbs comes out of nowhere, but this is Mean Mafia just completely in control.
Yeah, and we're seeing Phoenix right now going to pop that Primal Rage, but so much damage coming through.
Yeah,
Not much you can kind of do there.
The 1000 HP ult charge button, which is what it ends up being, you know, if you don't have the team to back you up. And
absolutely, and I just want to highlight quickly, Saison has been just doing a great job. He's been completely uncontested, already going to have a duplicate online as well, and well, this is not looking too good for the Chimps already, Spook.
Cora was in their spawn, dude. Like he was just like farming them as they came out of the gate, and Chimps. Honestly, we have to mention that Chimps are playing with a ringer that really came in last minute. I do think that they are not quite the team that they have prepared, but maybe this Nano Blade can get something done. But the beat's out, the Amp Matrix, it's nothing from the Nano.
Yeah, that was unfortunate too. There was just too much damage coming in, and especially too Gallant wanted to be a little bit more careful there. Now, look at that. Koru swapped over onto the Widowmaker. Feeling extremely confident, going to be challenging Gallant in this back line, but, well, the Genji's going to win out that battle 9 times out of 10. Meanwhile, Moo Malk taking a page out of Koru's book, just hanging out behind the team. Tried to put arrows in, but got taken out. Doesn't matter. That is going to be Meat Mafia on point number 2.
Yeah, they can't seem to contest this, Ryan. They can't get enough damage in. Moo Malk swapping to the Hanzo could potentially get something done, put in the damage to take Hobbs off the point. But otherwise, you know, they've been dead the whole time, Marks. You know, Tescu has barely got a chance getting energy, just now has the grab, but this is your last chance to use it. They're swapping heroes. They have to get this grab dragon down, or they're going to be looking at a 4.5 minute time bank. And Hobbs is looking for the shatter already. It comes down, and that is massive.
That's the back line. That's not good. Hobbs now taking the swings, trying to find people. Unfortunately, not able to pick anybody off of that shatter, getting drawn extremely low himself, but looks like the Chimps are actually going to be winning this fight out. We see the Primal Rage committed. It's also going to be the Dragons. Now, Phoenix just trying to zap people around before falling back. We saw Saison commit the duplicate here. Has Primal Rage. Be juggling people around here, but doesn't look like it is going to be too successful. Koru on the Doomfist, showing us that Koru pretty good on most DPS heroes, Spooky, as we finally get a reset from the Meat Mafia.
Yeah, Meat Mafia coming back in. Tescu's down. It's a Naked Blade coming out directly on top of the bomb.
So unlucky.
Omega does die. That is something, but it might not be enough. Hobbs takes a bunch of damage, finally falls, and maybe this is another hold for Chimps, but I gotta tell you, Marks, I'm not feeling confident about this team. Each of these fights feel like they're on a razor's edge.
Absolutely. Every single time. We see some swaps coming through. Doomfist and Hanzo coming out from the Chimps, from themselves. I want to see Gallant and what they can do on this Doomfist, Spooky.
Yeah, it looks like he's going into the ego duel against Koru, trying to take that one-shot potential and just boop Hobbs out of position. Hobbs has been very aggressive, and with good reason, but they're finally starting to punish him. If they can continue to do so, this could be a 0.3 hold.
Oh, we're going to be seeing the dragons come out now. Let's see how this goes. Hobbs has to fall back. Just make sure that he gets a little bit of health. Rally going to be coming out. Got punched out of the way. Shatter almost online. Hobbs is looking for it. He has it now. Goes right into the shield of Phoenix. Hate to see that one happening. And Moo Malk is ready there for the punish. Now, Chimps. They're feeling a little bit more in control. Gallant doing a great job. Punched Hobbs right into the perfect position to get 0 value out of that Shatter. Spooky.
Yeah, and Chimps are starting to come alive here, Marks. It's very, very good. They're able to build up some of these ultimates. They can even use the Grav plus the Doomfist ultimate plus that Meteor Strike to just get a pretty clean fight win if they can manage it. But I'm looking at Saison right here with the duplicate. If he lands that on Phoenix, who is now on the Rhine, so much damage coming in.
Yeah, and just like you foretold it, it will come true. Now that's just going to be a Shatter. He's going to try and take out Tissue, but he's going to get charged down himself. Picks right now being traded back and forth. Saison, hammer, swinging. Seeing Phoenix right now. Going to have to back off. Take out a duplicate. And once again, the Chimps. Seems like they heard what we said, and well, they're turning this one back around, and it's looking pretty good for them right now, Spooky.
Yeah, they're holding on. Tescu able to stay alive, which means he keeps the energy. And it doesn't really look like Meat Mafia can get anything done. They do have a grab now, but not much to combo with it unless they want to use the amplification matrix. But on the other hand, there's nothing to really counter it either.
Yeah, and we're seeing a couple of swaps come in. Koru and Saison on different heroes. There goes the grab. Going to be Hobbs getting right into it. Hobbs holding extremely low. The Sound Bigger coming in, saving him. But look at that. Saison just comes in with the dual shotguns. And, well, that's what you need in a nice and close range fight right now. Meat Mafia in control. Omega beaming people down. Finds Snick, and that's going to be round number 1. Getting to the end with 1 minute and 11 seconds. Everybody make a wish.
Yeah, it does finally roll through. But you know, Chimps do their best. Absolutely. And they finally get something going there on point C. But it's tough, you know. Chimps haven't. It seems like Chimps just showed up to the game right now. They're a map and a half in, staring down a not a huge time bank, but the map has already been completed in favor of Meat Mafia. So there will be an overtime if Chimps want to have any hope of winning the map. They finally come alive. They've started to figure out exactly what they want to do, which might be harder with Moo Malk in as a ringer. Just to remind everyone that they do not have their full 6 scrim team. But it's a big mountain to climb. And honestly, Meat Mafia were able to just get to this position pretty much for free as Chimps started to figure out exactly what they wanted to do and how they wanted to do it. So they really need to turn something around. They need to keep that momentum that let them hold for 4 minutes on point C and not get intimidated by, you know, how far they have to go to actually win this match.
Absolutely. I think uphill battle is the best way to describe it because Meat Mafia looking very comfortable on this rush composition, and they're going to be using that on this first point defense. So it's going to be tough times, this Spooky, just to say the least.
Yeah, they even have the Hanzo and the Echo as well, so that's going to be a lot of poke damage coming in, a lot of one-shot potential, a lot of just killing potential with that focusing beam. Hobbs gets a big fire strike through. He's definitely going to lap Phoenix on the Shatter, and Chimps might not be ready for this to come down as soon as it probably is going to.
Yep, we're seeing hammers coming through the charge. Ooh. Phoenix taking out Hobbs, but is immediately taken out himself right now. My eyes are on Koru as he gets taken out by Teske. Stays on, keeping it alive, hanging out in the sky. It'll just beam people down. Thankfully has Omega with the bubble to help that durability stay alive here. The battle is actually happening off the point. Meat Mafia don't have the numbers. Stays on, might have been a bit of a mistake. Accidentally flew off the edge there. You don't want to see that, but now the Reinhardts are back, and Phoenix is styling on Hobbs. Gonna do the tactical crouch, but the Chimps, well, they're gonna be getting point number 1 for almost free, Spooky.
Yeah, and it's a super aggressive attack by Phoenix. That helps open that up, takes Hobbs out of the equation, and then eventually that all fell apart. It's not what you want to see with the rush comp. You know, you want to, not that these are really standard rush comps at all, but you really do want to keep these teams together for the most part. Once it all falls apart, it's pretty much individual players who get to take that win. But that's a huge Shatter coming out inside. Omega cleaning up after Hobbs just lays it down. And this could be Meat Mafia coming back and getting a very strong defensive position.
Yeah, Hobbs looking like he was having a bit of a good time. able to demolish an entire team. That's what every Reinhardt main wants to do in their dreams. Am I wrong, Spooky?
No, absolutely. It's the only thing that makes me feel alive anymore. Another thing is a deep fire strike like Hobbs just hit on Moo Moo Malk. And that's just going to be another 10-15 seconds that Chimps are not able to push into this. On the other hand, they are building up ults. They'd even have the sound barrier to try and go through this grab dragon that is coming out. Snick lands the barrier, but I don't think it's enough.
No, look at all of those picks coming through. Corner's dragon just ripping them apart. As soon as that immortality field broke, well, then the rest of the Chimps broke right after.
Yeah, Phoenix using the shatter as well just to try and keep his team healthy, keep Hobbs away, but doesn't seem to get anything. And this is a lot of ults that Chimps had being used.
Oh, this is a risky move right here. An amplification matrix thrown out from both sides. Omega in the back line, beaming people down, trying to escape. Does have the escape bubble. Is going to get out. And look at that, Meat Mafia. They're getting away with this one, despite the fact that it was so many ult invested by Chimps.
Yeah, altogether, that's at least 4 ultimates, maybe 5, and absolutely nothing going for the Chimps here. Meat Mafia only using 2 or 3 of their own this entire time. They have definitely been in charge of the economy, and it looks like a dry push is actually going to get Chimps as far as they might get.
Yikes, we see Hobbs just lay down the air shatter, didn't find too much value. Now, swinging the hammer, trying to hit Gallant over the head. Gallant able to escape. Never mind, still wants to take this fight. Sees Hobbs, now has his eye on Omega. But, well, it's going to be Moo Moo Ball getting the pick first, and finally Chimps are able to make a little bit of progress here.
Yeah, the good old-fashioned aggression marks. This comp isn't known for ultimates. It's just getting the Rhine in the enemy's face. And it does manage to work out for the Chimps. They just push forward and take it. Not a lot of ultimates for either side now, but Chimps is building up to that Graviton Surge before Meat Mafia may. So they might be able to keep this one going if Tescu can build up to that quickly enough. Combo with the Dragon, that should be point C for them.
And let's see, Meat Mafia, they have the high ground here. It's going to be the Dragon coming through. Oh no, Tescu off the edge, got booped. Going to be a lot of damage taken out, but Moo Moo Walk just having a good time hanging out, playing William Tell here. Now we're going to be seeing Dragons fly in on this. Koru just going to be beating down Phoenix, and he got Fungin. That was a pretty nice arrow shot, wouldn't you say, Spooky?
Yeah, and Koru just came alive, got both of the supports, took out Phoenix as well, and now suddenly Meat Mafia, they're in a very good position to hold. Moo Moo Mulg getting the long-range shot, but it's an opportunity.
Back.
Yeah, as they go under the castle here, just trying to touch the point. They try and take the early 5v6, and it looks like it's working out for them.
Yeah, the Meat Mafia, they used that grab there, got most of the team, but didn't have any follow-up damage. Stays on top ground, has to escape, throws dynamite. Going to be pushed down. Teske getting so much value. Also now has a grab online. And, well, the Chimps, they've made it to checkpoint 2 and are looking pretty good. They're going to punish Koru on now the Pharah here. But Teske wants to take this really aggressive. Going to be moving in even more. Looking for a grab opportunity. Phoenix got his back. Could be looking for that, but Moo Moo Balk meanwhile taking out Saison. Now, there goes the ultimate. Okay, we're going to see an Amp Matrix thrown out, but it's going to be foiled by the Chimps because they've got no survivability here, and right now the Chimps are just looking dominant as they're just styling on Meat Mafia, Spooky.
Yeah, absolutely. The Chimps have figured out what they want to do, and they're doing it incredibly well. There is going to be a sound barrier coming out from Meat Mafia. If they're able to touch, here they come. They do get on point.
Oh, it's a big pin. Omega taken out, but Phoenix gets
shatter
to the ground with a big shatter from Hobbs. Trades going back and forth. Okay, Gallant punching people, looking for a pick, hits Omega, takes him out. Now Gallant just looking around.
You gotta be kidding me.
Koru is down, and that is going to be round number 2 as, hey, the Chimps, they beat Mafia's time bank.
Absolutely, Gallant. It really does seem like the DPS individually coming alive. To get them over the hump at some of these really hard times, you know, Moo Moo Malk opening up that point B attack where they were just able to shove their way in a 5v6. Omega's grab not even able to do anything to hold them back. And then it's Gallant actually just getting 3 or 4 picks at the end there. I was about to say, you know, I was ready to be like, yeah, you know, they were trading picks, but this is always gonna, you know, favor the defenders. They have the spawn advantage. Gallant doesn't care. He just kills everybody, which I was not expecting at all. The guy just comes alive, gets 4 picks at the end there, and that's all you need. Kill the team, you win the game.
Yeah, it turns out murder pretty good when you're playing Overwatch, as long as it's on the enemy team. But we are going to be seeing Gallant stick on this Doomfist because, well, Spooky, needless to say, it's been working great.
Yeah, they do seem to be a lot more comfortable on these comps rather than the ones they were starting with. The kind of double bubble with the Genji. Really, they barely got anything done. They have seemed a lot more comfortable on these Reinhardt comps. And yeah, I love that they stuck on this. It seems just, quite frankly, a lot better than them. And they're kind of bullying Meat Mafia in the head-v-head Brine match.
Couldn't agree more. Let's see it go. Saison on the Junkrat now. Those grenades just putting in so much damage, but Gallant comes in from the background and domes him. Gallant now, he's stuck. He's going to be taken out, but it's all too late for Meat Mafia. Only Omega left. Going to be taken out as the Chimps. They hold on to that one nice and strong.
Yeah, I'm worried about Funjin, who got taken out late, doesn't have any movement abilities, but that pick on the Koru should give the Chimps enough time to get their entire team back. It could have been scary for sure, but Snick is also there to lead Funjin back into the fray. Meat Mafia might get some positioning out of this, though. Chimps cannot hold forward if they don't Therana.
Yeah, and now we're seeing Koryu actually swap onto the Pharah. We saw this fight, this pick teased earlier, but it's going to be extremely hard. Saison finds Phoenix. That's a pretty important piece of the team composition, just taken out. Now we can see Meat Mafia getting aggressive. Hobbs trying to... doesn't find anybody. Time is running out, but it looks like they are going to be in charge of this point. Saison used the Riptire, found value out of it. See, that's 2 ticks now. Hobbs getting aggressive, finds Fungin in the background. Now charging through. Wow, Hobbs does not stop. And that's going to be point number 1 cap, but we are in overtime now. Hobbs still trying to chase down Phoenix, get as much ground as possible, but they can't lose another team fight here, Spooky, otherwise it's over.
Yeah, you'd love to have that Riptire back, though I can't blame them for using it just to cap that point A. But as Chimps come in, they have a lot of ultimates. They're able to zone with the Dragon Strike, then follow it up with a Nano Gallant, who's coming in strong and hard.
Yeah, strong and hard on top of Big Ounce and Hobbs. And while the Chimps, I think, regardless, needless to say, they're going to be cleaning up this point as they stop them right at the gates after their cap on point number 1. So, now, clear win condition set. Do we see this happening, Spooky?
It absolutely could. Chimps had a very good first push, but it does get past the gate marks. And the gate is where the payload stops for at least a little bit of time, as it opens up just to push the payload through. That does give enough time for Meat Mafia to regroup and take another 6v6 fight right before the gate or right as it's coming through. So, they fight on point A for a while, it hits overtime, blah, 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 blah. And then, Chimps are pushing forward in overtime. Meat Mafia don't have to throw themselves on point to stop it. They can just wait on the other side of the gate and take that 6v6 fight. So it's not far to get, of course. Like, Chimps can definitely do it, but it is a little farther than you'd prefer if you're the Mafia.
But at the same time, well, Chimps, they do have 2 minutes and 13 seconds, which is more time than Meat Mafia had. So I still think this is quite possible for them to make it happen. Meat Mafia are probably going to be planning on trying to hold them before they even cap point number 1. Yeah,
it does look like they'll go for at least a fairly aggressive hold, trying to get as much damage as they can in early. But I'm looking at the offtake difference. Tescu, if it's able to get charged up with the beam, may do a lot more damage than Omega could. And there's really not that much Omega's going to be eating here for the defensive value of the Diva. So I'm curious if Chimps will just get in here aggressive. But it's actually Meat Mafia who are trying to push in.
Yeah, look at that. Hobbs, though, falling extremely low. All right, now the fight is going to be on the point. Hammer swinging. Koru in the air. Oh, the picks are coming through right now for the Chimps, even if Gallant was taken out. Looks like Moo Moo Walk is going to be the star of the show here. Now, on this Cowboy, well, as soon as Omega falls down, yeah, that's going to be point number 1 now. Beat Mafia, they have to make something happen in order to get back in time, but It's not looking good. We're seeing some swaps come through. Koru on the Doomfist. Saison going over to the Torb. And Omega swapping to the Winston. Probably just to make it back in time to contest. But look at that. Chimps, they're ready for this next assault. Omega looking for a chance to jump in. Now, it's going to be Hobbs getting aggressive. Who else but Hobbs? Omega flies in now. Going to be tickling them with the Tesla cannon, but it is Gallant going into the back line. Might have overextended, gets taken out, but Hobbs is down right now. Omega is the last tank alive and is doing a pretty good job of keeping this happening. As trades are going back and forth. Moo Malk, though, coming alive with the Deadeye. Now sees Omega, but he's not alone. There's still a Saison in the back! And Koru, he's looking around. He sees Moo Malk, takes him out of the fight. Koru, last person on here, but is extremely known. Now Hobbs is able to make it back just in time. Well, that's going to be a lot of CC, and you hate to see that happen. But Meat Mafia get taken out as the Chimps. Well, they're going to be winning map number 2.
Yeah, spawn advantage for Chimps, and quite frankly, they just seemed a lot more comfortable on these rush-based compositions. I do think the off-tank difference was fairly important there, as Tesku just gets the beam going. You have so much damage coming through at the end there. And it's just more frontal pressure if you're going to just slam into each other like these compositions want to. So I think that was a fight that was kind of won in the selection screen. But it definitely shows that we have a series on our hands, Marks, which I wasn't expecting after the first, both the first map and the first round of Eichenwald.
Absolutely. I mean, needless to say, Meat Mafia looked dominant on our first map, and then even on the attack, they were just swapping just because it was fun. They were like, I want to play some Widowmaker. It's gonna be a Widowmaker type of day. But then the Chimps just something clicked. The pieces of the puzzle finally came together, and as a result, Chimps, well, they looked a lot stronger than Meat Mafia on their attack and even on their defense the second time around.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway, Marks. We finally do have a break. We're not in the middle of the action. Do you want to tell me a little bit about what we're doing here?
Yeah, this is Inspire Esports. This is the preseason tournament. It's the second week. And once again, the Chattanooga Chimps are going up against the Meat Mafia tonight. The series is now tied up at 1-1. This is being casted by myself, Marks, alongside my buddy Spooky. And today we're being produced and observed by Raven. Otherwise, yeah, coming into this, Meat Mafia, they lost their last map, but this is the first time we are seeing the Chattanooga Chimps. And once again, like Spooky has said a couple of times, Chattanooga, they're coming in here with a ringer in Moo Malk. And Spooky, right now, Moo Malk, that milk is working for them. They are growing.
Yeah, definitely been popping off. It did look a little shaky for the first 20, 30 minutes of the match, but they do really seem to be coming together. And I think, if you're playing with a ringer, the rush comp is pretty solid. It's pretty easy to figure out exactly what your role is going to be. You stick together as a team. And Moo Malk seems very comfortable on the Hanzo, which I've always enjoyed in the rush comp, especially in the mirror. You really get to burn down the tanks, you get to burn down the shields. Absolutely. But we've also seen some other variations. We've seen Doomfist coming out from both teams. And honestly, Koru and Gallant have been fantastic so far. Both standout players for me, at least, on these Dooms, being able to get a bunch of value. So it's definitely a more aggressive style of rush composition. You're really just going for that one pick potential, just break something early, get an early fight win by just picking a hero out with either a Hanzo headshot or maybe a punch into the wall, displacing the Reinhardt with the Doomfist as well, and just bowling over them. But so far it's been great. We haven't seen much of the Cowboy, so there haven't been, the stuns to punish the Doomfists.
Yep.
And largely they've had free reign, which is why they've been able to pop off so much. So it's really sometimes it seems like a game of better Doom wins.
Absolutely. And well, speaking of the better Doom, well, we're going to be going into our next map here, which is going to be Rialto. And Spooky, I know Doomfist isn't really a pick here, but based on how Gallant has been playing it, I would like to see more Doomfist, I think.
Yeah, we might get later. I rarely see the Doom on Rialto. It's
Doom Rialto.
Yeah, there aren't that many walls to really punch people into. There are a little too many canals you throw yourself into. It can definitely be a little bit risky. But we are going to see the Chimps actually break out the real classic rush comp with the May, with the Cowboy, and it looks like they're going to take a very forward hold here. They're going to get aggressive and just roll over the Meat Mafia as they come out of spawn, Marks.
Yeah, let's see how this works out for them. Already the brawl is kind of going down here on the point. Okay, Bandit just kind of hanging out on the tie ground. He's going to be getting Fungin. And now I expect that this is going to be the Chimps backing off. But never mind, they want to keep this one going. They're getting quite a bit of value coming in from this hold, honestly. Even though they've lost a couple of members, it doesn't seem like they care. Bandit's the only saving grace right now for Meat Mafia. And even then, gets frozen up, able to escape, but whoa, man, Phoenix making this look like some sort of movie, just charges across the spawn. But finally, Meat Mafia, they're going to be stabilizing, they're going to be able to get some of these picks, and well, now they're going to be moving things forward as Moonwalk falls down.
Yeah, we are going to get to a quick pause, as unfortunately it does seem like there was a bit of a tech issue coming out, but we'll see exactly what comes out. I do want to highlight Snake, actually, coming in on the Lucio. Was able to boop Koru, now over on the Zenyatta. Koru off of the high ground, which I was really worried about. You know, if Koru was able to just sit up there, start putting in damage, that would have been an early fight win for, for the Meat Mafia. But it does make it last a little bit longer, you know, go up to around 45 seconds off the clock already. So it's not a bad hold. It's not the best you're looking for, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, the Chimps got really aggressive there, and they were taking a very forward hold, Spooky. And even though they lost Fungin right off the bat, they kept that going for a lot longer than I was expecting, to be completely honest with you. Usually when that support goes, and Fungin being the main source of healing for the Chimps, as soon as the healer goes down, you don't expect the Reinhardt to be like, all right, it's time to slam, and then take the hammer and start moving forwards with the May and Cowboy right beside him. You usually see teams disengage there, so, you know, great things coming in for, the Chimps to be able to hold it for as long as they did. They did give up quite a bit of ult charge, though, to the Meat Mafia, so, you know, that could have ended up hurting them in the long run, but I guess we're just going to have to see, Spooky.
Yeah, we will get to see, especially, you know, we didn't talk about too much in the break because we had a couple other things to speak about, but Meat Mafia have pretty much swapped up their entire team here, Marks. Yeah. Saison and Koru both swapping off the DPS role. And if I'm not mistaken, every single other member is new.
Yep, I think so.
Omega and Blue Burglar all coming in, and we're seeing a completely different composition from them. They're playing the double bubble. So this could definitely be maybe Meat Mafia's strats, you know, get your best players on their best heroes for the comp you want to run. It makes sense to me, but it could make them a little predictable moving forward. But it doesn't matter how predictable you are if Zom could just take out your backline, Marks. Mumu Malk tried to get something with the Deadeye, but this is looking to me like a point A capture for Meat Mafia.
Yeah, looks like it to be too, Spooky. Mumu Malk is in the back line, but he's going to be the only person able to stall and doesn't even make it in time now. Going to be taking the 1v1 duel against Omega. Comes out on top, and Zom is there to clean that one up. And wow, Zom on that Tracer. That is a work of art.
Yeah, and this is gonna spell a compositional change for Chattanooga Chimps. They go over to the more classic dive, completely lacking a Tracer, going instead for Gallant on the Genji. But Meat Mafia don't seem to care what composition Chattanooga Chimps are running. They're just using the ult advantage they've built up so far to just roll them over, especially with all the swaps coming in. There are no ults for Chimps, not a single one. Saison gets taken out, but so far, Meat Mafia have just been able to roll forward, Marks.
Absolutely, and to be completely honest with you, it looks like Zom is actually playing Stardew Valley with just how much farming is going on here. Zom has run completely uncontested for most of this map, honestly, and is already building up to another Pulse Bomb.
Yeah, and I'm going to bet he's going to land this one directly into a Graviton Surge. Chattanooga Chimps have to come up with something. Zom doesn't even need the Pulse Bomb. He just clips down Fungin. Blue Burglar is down, but Koro has the Transcendence here. This is all Mafia. The ult advantage is so much in their favor, Marks. We're not getting anything done. We do, unfortunately, have another pause. I believe Tescu is still having a couple of issues coming through, but even if Tesco was there, I'm not sure that one would have mattered.
No, I don't think so either. Omega drops down the Bob. Nothing like the Mafia calling in their butlers to help out as well. But Bob just beaming people, not even beaming people down, just chunking people down with his machine gun. You can't really beat an AI computer just shooting people out of the sky. So great job coming out for Meat Mafia, honestly. They, once again, Zom didn't even need to use the pulse bomb there. Was more than comfortable just to kind of stand on the side, just shoot them down with the dual pistols and be like, hey, I guess that was my day, and then pack it out and keep that pulse bomb in their pocket for a future fight.
Yeah, Zom's been having the time of his life. Very strong tracer performance. It's really just phenomenal. Even manages to keep holding on to the pulse bomb there. So maybe that will be something that will help them open up point C, because we did talk about the ult advantage, and they really did press it, because that they only have one ultimate left, and it is that pulse bomb. So as soon as we get Chattanooga Chimps back in game, they might be able to get a hold here. Point C, very defensively favored.
Yes.
But and that's a big but. Meat Mafia have absolutely been rolling.
Yes.
No tracer on the other side really means that this incredibly diveable backline and the Zen Ana hasn't been taking as much damage as you can. It's a little bit harder to get the Genji, Gallant to actually get into the backline, especially without a lot of high grounds to potentially drop down from. So it's really just Phoenix kind of going in on his own, and that's a recipe for just getting slept and left in the backline. So I'd really like to see a tracer coming out from the Chimps and get a little bit more of a coordinated dive, try and punish Koru or Blue Burglar on the Zen and Ana respectively. And maybe you can get something going there. But so far, it really is Meat Mafia. Their composition is good. They're playing it well. And the one glaring issue I see, which is the Ana Zen backline, is not getting dove.
No.
They're just very happy to just keep pushing forward, get these anti-nades, get the discords down, and just take full advantage of this pretty aggressive backline without any of the disadvantages that you have from running it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the thing. You got to be careful running a Zen and an Ana, because the next thing you know, you got a Monkey and a Tracer just shooting and electrifying you to the ground. But like you said, Spooky, Meat Mafia have gotten away with murder almost on this one, specifically Koru too. We've seen how good Koru is on projectiles on that Hanzo earlier, and well, is bringing out his skills here on the Zenyatta as well. You also mentioned, you want to see the swap to the Tracer, you want to see more dive, but I actually think right now they need to change it up to more of a rush style composition, because that's where we've seen the Chimps actually synergize very well together. And very clearly right now, this dive composition is not working out in their favor. They just don't know what to do. And so, especially too on this 0.3 hold, where you start to see a lot more close quarter combat, I think a rush might work here, honestly, for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Would not mind the rush. It's a little bit risky because you have to push out into the open before you actually get inside the cathedral. If the card was a little bit further, I'd be completely on board. I think it would work out well for them. But potentially they'll just get ripped apart by Zom in their backline unless Mumumal can keep him in check. But it definitely could work. And again, like you said, they have seemed way more comfortable on these Rhine-based comps, because this is reminding me of the first round on Eichenwald. I don't believe that that was actually showed on the stream. It was. We did get
I think that was. Yeah, that should have been on.
Justin. But they got rolled running these Winston comps. They really got pounded. So it is Meat Mafia. Just looking a lot better at the moment. They're coming in strong with the Winston, and as soon as Chimps, they swap off that rush comp, and nothing's happening. Like they really haven't gotten anything going on.
Absolutely. It's another thing too to mention. Meat Mafia, they changed up. Everybody's playing a new role right now. And maybe that has something to do with it too. Maybe this is their comfort picks. After such a dominant map number one, they were like, we can play our off roles here for the second map. And then Well, they lost that one, and we're like, all right, boys, time to pull up the pants and let's do this classic style here as they all just went onto their mains. And well, we're seeing kind of the results because this is very reminiscent of our first map with the power that's coming in from Meat Mafia.
Yeah, and let's see if they will be able to continue it, as I believe both teams are ready. Tescu is back, but as quick as that, Zom and Sazin just push forward, get some of those early picks. And then we see another swap coming in from Gallant. It's 50% to a blade and just completely gives up. We do see Mumu Malk over to that Tracer, and they're going for a 6-man dive. I mean, I told you to dive on the back line. Let's see if this works out as they throw their entire team at it. But they do have to get in there. The positioning is very good right now for Meat Mafia.
Yeah, it is. But hey, one person down. That's how you want to see this go. Teske getting 2. Now Phoenix just following up. This looks like this dive was actually extremely successful. Turns out if you just put all your people on the same mission, then chances are it'll succeed. Zom trying to just escape with his life. Able to do so, taking the 1v1 against Mumu Malk, but now there's a D.Va in his way, so going to be backing off and Meat Mafia. Now they're going to be the ones who have to reset here.
Yeah, Blue Burglar gets blown up, and since Meat Mafia are continuing with this composition, expect that to happen again. A Harmony Orb and a single bubble is all the PLE Blue Burglar is going to get. And, I mean, Sleep Dart only hits one player, but Omega gets a pick. Sazin follows it up. And this 6-man, it's called 6-man for a reason, Marks. Once it loses a member, it's not called the 5-man comp. It is not quite working out.
5-man comp almost rolls off the tongue just as easily. There's no alliteration.
Overwatch 2, baby.
Yeah, exactly. They're just getting ready for Overwatch 2 here. You gotta really hats off to the Chimps on that one. But Meat Mafia won out that team fight, so they're gonna be moving this forward. But now we're gonna be seeing Chimps set up for this Cathedral defense.
Yeah, and Mumu Malk and Phoenix both got to pick a piece. So they're able to push out pretty easily to actually get positioning on the card again, and gets the pick as well. That is going to be quite a bit of time before Meat Mafia are actually able to come back in. But they're trying to anyway.
Yep, they are. Zom making it happen a little bit. Walking around here, the self-destruct committed just to kind of pressure back. Zom is able to escape from there, but now all alone in the back line. Doesn't even have recall. Does have recall, just got it in time, but it's not looking good as Gallant is able to take them out.
Yeah, and once again, we see Chimps holding strong on the point C. They just need to do this for the rest of the map, but so far, it really does seem to be working out for them. Fungin needs this beat, though, because Bandit is coming in with the sound barrier. Fungin has to build this up. He's close, but not there yet. There's no defensive tool for this grab right now, Marks.
Yeah, let's see it go. The grab is coming in.
There it is.
He's on. Gonna be doing it. Gallant, though, popped the Death Blossom. Got a pick. Taken out of it. But the Pulse Bomb was eaten from Zom. And Chimps were able to hold off on that. Might have spoken a little too soon. Koru fallen. Gonna see beams coming out here. Sazon got a monkey behind him as well. Gonna be spinning around. Zapping. Zipping. Bandit takes out Mumu Malk. And right now, fully charged. Walking forwards. Oh, Teske. So close to getting demeched here. Should be pretty easy for Bandit. Bandit so charged up right now. Coalescence online. Bob committed into the back. Dive coming in from Phoenix. Phoenix trying to get value. Oh, gets the dynamite in the face and falls down right before Primal Rage. Now, this is looking like it's kind of going back and forth. Gallant might as well be the hero that they need. The Chimps able to stabilize after a very scrappy team fight, Spooky.
Yeah, incredibly scrappy. And now we're finally moving into a next one with both teams at 6, but Zom getting an early pick, and Koru swapping over to the Sprig as well to deny the dive. It might be enough, but Blue Burglar is down. Once again, Mumu Malk comes up big on the Tracer.
Phoenix committed the Primal there. Got taken out immediately, and now this looks like Meat Mafia 1v moving forwards. Bandit falling low, but gonna find that healing. Gallant needed to go for the health pack. Able to get it in time. Zom and Koru, meanwhile, just doing work. Koru swinging the flail. Gallant has fallen. There is a D.Va in the backline. Teske just kind of being annoying back here, but would be able to get staggered out, which could be huge for the Meat Mafia. You can see they're taking this aggressive times. It's monkey v monkey action in the front on the cart. Phoenix, though, doesn't look like they're going to be getting too much. Stays on, gets aggressive, pops the Primal Rage, just keep himself healthy. But Gallant right now is going to be really contesting that damage here. Gallant gets taken out by Zom. Zom also now has the Pulse Bomb online. Unfortunately, doesn't find the stick. gets taken down really low. Omega has swapped over to Ash at this point. Takes out Moo Moo Malk. Pick's still coming back and forth, but Meat Mafia have lost all steam in their engine. There's only 30 seconds left for them to cap this last point, Spooky.
Yeah, both teams have just consistently been throwing ultimates into these scrappy fights, but that will always favor the Chimps, who can take the trades and come back faster than Meat Mafia can. Now, Meat Mafia coming in on their last attempt with an early rally coming out for that armor, but pungent counters with a barrier.
Oh, Dust Possum! Okay, grabbed out, but it's the Coalescence that just comes up good for the Chimps. Snick able to get so much work done, both offensively and defensively. We're seeing Saison just a monkey in the corner. It gets taken out, and, well, looking like the Chimps are on top of it, just cleaning up the last line. But Teske, hey, when Teske is in the fight, really makes a difference here. As the Chimps, they hold them right at the cathedral doors.
Yeah, it also helps if he's in the lobby, but we won't say much more about that. But again, it's a 5.5 minute hold, and Chattanooga Chimps pull it off. Again, they come alive on their point C defense, and Meat Mafia, it almost feels like a bit of arrogance maybe, as they've known how well they're doing. They know They just rolled this team backwards and forth over 2 points. And it seems like they start thinking, okay, we can win. We're better than these guys. Let's just throw our ultimates in, press some Qs, get some picks, and keep moving forward, because that's what we've been doing all game. But it's like they're fighting a different team. Yep. Chimps just completely come alive. They move over to that 6-man dive composition, and it works for them. Again, this is a late compositional swap coming in from Chimps that is miles better than anything else they run on the map. Like, they just got rolled all over when they're playing the. They played the opening rush comp. They didn't really stick on it, but they tried some weird kind of Genji dive, and eventually they move over to the 6-man, and it works out fine. They really just don't seem to know exactly what they want to play, and maybe that's due to some of the amount of variety we've seen out of Meat Mafia. I really doubt that Chimps have scrimmed against this many different comps, because Meat Mafia are playing. They're going through the whole repertoire of Overwatch comps, as they are now over on the double shield with the Far Mercy in the sky.
Yeah, I wonder how they're going to be able to contest Zom in the air. They don't have anything to take him out. Bandit finding the first pick. Could use the accretion, but my eyes on Zom right now. Got the boosted Mercy pocket, and while Teske did turn that around a little bit by taking out Blue Burglar, Zom's still just in the air, able to just do so much. And, well, hey, that's quite a bit of progress for the Chimps so far.
Yeah, there isn't really too many people who can actually stand on point, especially when the Reaper and the Tracer are just looking for tanks to blow up. So you really do need to get the kills coming in. And Zom seems to be doing it. Like you said, there isn't much to contest him. Really only Tesku on that D.Va can actually get in his face, but that's not really, that won't kill Zom, especially with the Mercy pocket.
Minor inconvenience.
Yeah, they need to find an opening pick. Chattanooga Chimps do. They have the Coalescence coming out, and that seems like it'll be enough, but the Barrage comes through as well.
Yeah, Funjin got taken out there, but Moo Moo Balk just coming alive.
Ooh.
The Ringer that did it all stops the res as well, and, well, now the Chimps, hey, even if Zom is still in the air, well, Zom doesn't really want to touch the cart right now.
Yeah, and I don't even think that he'd be able to if he tried. Moo Moo Malk gets credit for all of those kills, but it really is a team effort. This is called 6-man for a reason. And with 0.03 meters left, they managed to touch marks, but Bandit finds Funjin. They might be able to turn this one. They're using ults.
Yeah, we're seeing Sigma's ult come online now. Teske up in the air, gets D-Max, Zom firing rockets. And they're able to flip this around just before point number 1, but look at the ultimate investment that just kind of came in there. The Supercharger, a Flux, and a Bob.
Yeah, I mean, they just threw everything that they could because they really didn't think they would be able to hold that. I guarantee you. I don't think they actually... they touch because that's what you do, but as soon as Bandit gets that first pick, they suddenly realize, we can hold this, and they throw everything to do so. Zom with that pick on the Snick, that is a regroup for Chattanooga Chimps, and they've already committed ultimates. Phoenix went in with the Primal Rage, and you don't have your Moira, you only have Lucio heals. You're getting nothing out of this. That is 30. By the time they get back, it's going to be 40 seconds burnt off the clock as Zom gets that pick. Even landing a rocket on the Fungin. This is not working out for Chimps. And the point's so far away from their spawn marks.
It is.
They only have maybe two more good shots at this. I don't know if that's enough time for Moo Malk to build up an EMP on the Sombra he's just swapped over to. It's going to be tough, for sure.
Absolutely.
They managed to get in, and they get a pick on Omega.
Yeah, let's see how it goes. Zom looking for an opportunity. Oh, that's a huge opening. Uses the Mirage, able to take out the back line, but there's nobody left for.
Yeah, you're not gonna miracle hold this time. And that, I don't know what happened there, Marks. Omega was very low for a long time, and just gets instantly blown up. I'm not entirely sure how that actually fell apart for me, Mafia, but it seemed like it shouldn't have. I think they threw that one away somehow. Chimps pushing forward aggressively, get that pick on the Koru as Gallon teleports into the backline, follows it up with Zoms, and Chimps, you know, they're taking back, they're taking the second shot of life that they got, and they are just ripping forward. Once again, we are going to have a pause, but unfortunately continuing to have technical issues on Zom this time, but I believe he is okay. It's just a quick little thing that he was able to fix quickly, and we're going to go back into the game as Mean Mafia are trying to defend here. And it looked like it was going very well, but now Chattanooga Chimps suddenly coming alive, and Moo Malk building up to this EMP.
Yep, it's not looking good for Meat Mafia right now. Omega has just dropped down, and we can see Phoenix just pressing this advantage even further. Looking very winnable all of a sudden. They're almost at the second point. You can see that they're doing a very far forwards hold. Now Ultimate's being committed. Phoenix goes for the Primal. He also gets the sound barrier just behind him, but he's just in the back line. There's too much damage going through. Now Bob going to be holding out this cart for just a little bit longer as Meat Mafia are able to stabilize. Sazen goes in, but Zom is the hero right now, able to find a bunch of picks in the air. And, well, that's going to be the Chimps retreating for once.
Yeah, Zom moving over to this hit scan has been doing a lot of work. Just doing the swap and already having the Deadeye should prove exactly what they've done. Now with double hit scan on this bridge, it's going to be pretty tough. Even for this fast composition to actually get in without taking a bunch of poke damage. Moo Malk is going to have a hell of a time trying to figure out where to place this EMP, where the team can actually follow up on it. The team has to stay alive, of course, to follow up on the EMP. That is an important part.
Oh, my goodness. This is such well-placed mines as well right now. Chimps are stuck in a rock and a bunch of mines. That's going to be the D-back onto Teske, as well as taking him out. Phoenix able to escape just barely, but the Chimps once again have to back off, but they're building up to a lot of ultimates here, Spooky.
Yeah, but how are they going to use them? None of these really get them in a position. You know, they can coalescence to maybe get across the bridge and put some damage in. I wouldn't even mind like a solo hack or a solo EMP on the Sazen just to take him out. The EMP comes through, but let's see if there's a follow-up is there.
Oh, that was a huge defense matrix. They're able to just absorb so much of that Reaper damage here, but Gallant. Oh, with the self-destruct as well. Too many bombs off in different directions, and finally Chimps are able to roll this one forwards. I said defense matrix, but what I actually meant was the kinetic grasp. But even then, Gallant came out on top of that one.
Yeah, still, everything coming out from Chimps to get that, and Sazon's able to touch as well. Mean Mafia are coming back into this, and there are no ultimates for Chimps to actually use. They have to win this in the neutral,
Sazon.
And they have to cap.
Oh, that's unlucky.
Okay, you know, Chimps are winning this out, so I'm not going to quite call that a C9 because it looks like they were able to push Meat Mafia off of the point. Still, you don't like seeing the cap when you still have, I believe it was 6 members alive at the time, and now suddenly Chimps are getting closer and closer to that box of victory.
Yep, we're going to be seeing ultimates committed right now. Zob! Oh! Look at that one look easy. Now Meat Mafia are going to be moving this thing forwards. Even if they lost the point, doesn't matter. They want to do this. Point number 2 hold, Spooky. They've only got a minute to hold. It's not looking impossible.
Yeah, Moo Malk gets a little bit of cart progress and also builds up to this EMP. That is really what I'm looking at, the EMP. There's not too much to combo with it, but Gallon can build up to that Death Blossom. And with the card where it is, that might just be a game winning combo. EMP into Death Blossom. You can really just throw all the ults down, but Meat Mafia are attacking early. The EMP comes out.
Huge EMP.
Matrix.
But no follow-up.
No follow-up marks.
No follow-up at all.
They needed to win this. They need that to win this game. And they use nothing. He instead, Moonwalk tries to counter the Amp Matrix. And now 30 seconds and no EMP. They have almost everything else online, so they might be able to just brute force their way in with a Coalescence Sound Barrier. But it's going to be traded out by Coalescence by Blue Burglar as well. It's gotten tougher. It's definitely gotten tougher, and they have to go now.
Yeah, we see both support ultimates coming online. Meat Mafia are going to be respecting that distance. Gallon O goes for it, gets stunned out, stays on, has to escape Primal Rage online, slapping around. Teske also has the self-destruct, but Phoenix is in the back line, just going absolutely
The Flux?
Smacked Zom around. The Flux does come through. Self-destruct on point. Everybody pressing Q. Let's see which team comes out on top. It looks like it is actually going in the favor of the Chimps right now. Everything is so close contested, but let's not forget, Spawner's advantage favoring Meat Mafia, but the Chimps, they walk that one in as Chimps take their second map in what a turnaround, Spooky. It happened again.
Yeah, Chimps really... they really don't like defending at all until they get to like point C, and then they come alive on their offense. It really does feel like they need like 7 or 8 minutes to just warm up for a map, but they do manage to use their ultimates well. And we cried about the EMP. We were so upset about that one. Yep. But it's all right. They come alive with the ult advantage. They have 4 other ults in the docket. They managed to hit them all, and I mean Mafia just a little bit behind on that. You know, they have the Flux come through. They just managed to pull that one off, but it's followed up by the Deadeye, and it's not enough. It's not the same as, you know, a Sound Barrier Coalescence directly followed by a bomb and a Death Blossom. You know, it's a trickle versus the flood of ultimates. Even without the EMP, it is enough for the Chimps to come alive. And now Chimps, they're only a map away from taking this one, as we are going to our 2CP map next. I'm excited to see what we have in store.
Oh boy, I can't wait for the Chimps just to realize, hey, maybe our team comp isn't working. Oh, let's just like change that at the last second and then just roll the Meat Mafia.
You know, they're down 2 ticks on Anubis or whatever, and they're like, you know what? I don't think we're winning this. Let's change all of our heroes and actually win.
Let's just swap it up.
Really, that does seem to be what they're doing here, Marks. It's bizarre, quite frankly, how this has happened twice. But Chimps, they're just throwing stuff at the wall until they see what sticks. But when it sticks, it doesn't fall off.
No, it really doesn't. Like Spooky, the last 2 maps, we have had nothing but praise for Meat Mafia in the opening. Yeah, and then just like that, it's like, they're literally just like beating up the Chimps, and then the Chimps are like, time to go ape, and then they just turn it up, and then it just completely flips around.
It's very odd. I'm not entirely sure what Chimps are doing, how they're managing to do this, but and maybe part of it is, you know, the defender's advantage on point C, because they're not really dominating fights or anything. They're just getting picks. They're trading. They're going toe to toe with Meat Mafia, but somehow it's enough. You know, Meat Mafia don't seem like they can win a fight unless they completely dominate it.
Yeah.
Both teams have very specific styles, it seems like.
Absolutely.
You know, Meat Mafia win until they don't, and Chimps just get rolled until they decide not to.
I was about to say, the Meat Mafia win until they don't, and then the Chimps lose until they don't. So it really kind of works out in that way.
That really does seem to be the name of the game. We are going to Hanamura as our next map, and I'm excited, you know, to see if this continues. Meat Mafia once again doing a lot of changes through their roster. Almost, you know, Zom, Omega, Bandit, all out. Koru as well. And it's Hobbs is back in, but I don't even remember how many of these these players I've seen before, as Meat Mafia just has a full roster and are taking advantage of it.
Yeah, it's maybe musical chairs is the right word. Maybe hero swap chairs, because like they're playing all different roles again. Blueburger, you just saw on the support line, now playing DPS here for Meat Mafia. Spooky, are we going to see the exact same thing we just saw again happen?
It really looks like they are swapping it up again, Marks. Blue Burglar and Balance going over to the DPS. I believe it's a little bit hard when everyone's swapping around, but Balance was, I believe, their off tank for that last match. Hobbs over on the off tank as well, I believe. So it really is, like you said, musical chairs or musical hero swap for Meat Mafia. And again, you know, maybe that's good. This is the preseason. You're able to try a bunch of different compositions, see how it works for you, a bunch of different players on a bunch of different roles, and just see what shakes out. I'm into it. So far, it seems to be working for them. Despite having different players, they seem to have the same kind of strategy and the same kind of aggression coming through. So maybe, despite having different players, their style still seems to shine. But let's see if style is enough to actually pull them back into this match here, Marks. Because Chimps, they are up 2-1. If they get the win here, that's it.
Yep. Right now, Meat Mafia went for the Symmetra strategy, teleported themselves right onto point. Now, Balance charged up the Sim Beam so much, but falls down. Gallant, the hero, on the Pharah. That's going to be an easy 3K. No one to contest him up in the air. And, well, the Chimps, it seems like they're changing the script on us a bit.
Yeah, and, you know, you're running these sim comps, but you're running the sim instead of any kind of hit scan. So, really, Gallant has free reign to just fly around, hover, and to get the picks in. But on the other hand, who's going to meet Meat Mafia on point? They got a tick and a half just by getting demolished on point. They still got the percentage. They do that again, that's going to be a full capture, even if they don't get an elimination out of it.
True. Now, Gallant.
Speaking of eliminations.
Oh, you're eliminating an entire team there, bud. Just drops the barrage and, well, finishes it up the rest. Moo Moo Milk was like, hey, wait, let me take one here. But Gallant just almost got a 6K? 5K? I don't know. It was ridiculous.
Pretty close. and it's good positioning. You know, it's setting up right where they're going to put the teleporter, knowing they'll be grouped together like that. And just drops from above and gets that already nearly 30% to another barrage. And Meat Mafia, they're still trying to see how they want to do this. But Moo Moo Milk is behind the team and looks like he will be taken out. So this is an opportunity, but Meat Mafia are completely split off, Marks. Half of them chase Moo Moo Milk on the Hanzo, and half of them wins point.
Yeah, and right now, the picks are coming through for both teams. Still, though, Gallant is uncontested up in the air. Finally, is going to be frozen up a little bit, but that Mercy Pocket going to keep him nice and healthy. And once again, Gallant might just single-handedly win this out. We see the Blizzard committed onto point. Doesn't matter. Gallant completely unaffected at all. The Earthshatter came down, didn't find anybody. And, well, this is looking like the Chimps are going to be holding this one. Gallant already has another barrage built up, Spooky.
Yeah, Gallant just completely dominates. And, yeah, I mean, Mafia have to go back to the drawing board. They had such a good opportunity there, capturing Moo Moo Milk in their backline, but it doesn't seem like the whole team got the memo. And now we're going to see a complete swap with a minute and a half. This is not looking good. They're going up against ultimates, they're going up against strong positioning, and they have nothing but a sound barrier to work with. And I don't think they'll build up to anything either, Marks. They have to win this in the neutral, but strong ults online for Chimps, and a minute on the clock. And Hobbs is out of mech.
Oh boy, Gallant now uses the barrage. It's gonna take out Hobbs now. The minute left for Meat Mafia to make this one happen, but Gallant is just running wild on this team. Phoenix actually turning up quite a bit as well. They're going to be getting that ultimate online, but oh, Spooky, this might be last fight territory for Meat Mafia.
Yeah, they're going to have a sound barrier to get themselves in, and there aren't too many ultimates, but Phoenix Gravitic Flux, if he lands it early, can completely bait out and negate the sound barrier simply because they'll be hanging in the air the whole time they want to be fighting. It'll negate the ultimate, potentially, as we're going to see right here. But with a dry fight, the Chimp should have the advantage in the neutral. But Neptune gets a good pick on the Punjin.
It doesn't look like it's going to matter too much. Gallant's still uncontested in the air, able to drop those rockets down.
And Snick gets
Balance. able to keep this one alive, really close to a pulse bomb, but gets taken out. There's a supercharger in the point. That's going to make it so difficult to push into. And, well, the Chimps, they're done monkeying around. They're going to be winning this one out. Full hold, only giving up a single tick on the point.
And that should be the match for the Marks. They only need 54, maybe 55% to actually close this one out. It looks like it's going to be 59. I was a little bit off. Apologies.
Oh, Spooky. You should get your calculator out, get the protractor. You got to get that exact math, dude.
Unfortunate. But just under 59% to actually take this one away. And it looks like Chimps have actually figured out how to defend the point A. Great for them. You know, they just have to push in with one good attack, and they will take away this game after Meat Mafia have such a dominant start.
Absolutely. You know what they say, Spooky? Ape strong together. And right now, it's looking like they're a lot more coordinated here. The Chimps feeling so much better. And you could see just the amount of, not respect, but coordination coming in order to address the Meat Mafia. Once again, we highlighted Gallant quite a bit on that Pharah. Just able to rein in a lot of damage. But once again, Phoenix, Teske, Moo Milk, so many turn-up moments from each of them, and Fungin and Snick were doing a great job of keeping everybody healthy no matter where they were.
Yeah, Snick, Fungin actually fell a couple of times, which I thought would be the nail in the coffin, but the rest of Chimps managed to rally, get a couple picks, and Snick on the Mercy just swoops in with the Resurrect. So even the opportunities where Meat Mafia did force a fight, Chimps were able to take advantage of it, and now they're going for their own teleporting strategy.
Monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah, monkey see, monkey do. And let's see if this monkey is a little bit better than the previous one as they teleport straight on the point.
Oh, they're actually going upwards. Gonna give the old loop-de-loop here.
Oh, the ice wall.
That's a great ice wall coming in, isolating Neptune. Neptune taken out of the fight. Moo Milk just beaming people down. Huge anti-nade. Hobbs purpled. Has to fly away. Going to be demected very shortly. Now this is looking like the Chimps. They reign supreme. Looking for an opportunity. Can anybody make it on point? It doesn't look like that is going to be the case. The Chimps just look super powerful. They have made their home here on point number 1, and that is going to be the Chattanooga Chimps winning it out against Meat Mafia, winning this series a 3-2-1, Spooky.
Yeah, and they just completely come alive. You know, the Chimps, it's hard to see. It's hard to really rate them exactly, figure out how good they are, because it really does seem like a tale of two separate teams. One that either gets rolled or just holds. These guys really do seem to manage to just pull things out when they need it most.
I'll say.
Point C defenses, and then on Hanamura, they're like, okay, we're going to win the game. Let's just get it over with.
Yeah, pretty much.
But, it's very odd. And I'm hoping that, they can go back and look at this and see, what works, what didn't, and finally figure out exactly how to hold those, point C defenses, the Hanamura defense, how to get into that form throughout an entire match. Because if they are, I do believe Chimps can be scary. On the other hand, Meat Mafia, a very aggressive team, maybe letting that get the best of them a little bit, but I do think we saw signs of brilliance from them, signs of dominance. So both of these teams feel like they have a lot of potential, and with a little bit of work, they can be titans in Inspire.
Yes, 100%. And also, too, one thing I'd like to point out is Meat Mafia. They were changing things around, and like you mentioned, this is the preseason, so they might have been just trying out some new strategies here. We definitely saw moments of brilliance where they would just look like they had things together, but I don't want to necessarily say that was only because the Chimps hadn't figured out their composition, because I do think Meat Mafia were playing a pretty good game there. But Spooky, now that the Chimps have won, the Chattanooga Chimps have won, we have to select an MVP for the match, and who do you think that's got to be?
It's got to be Gallant. It's not just that far performance. He really turned it up on the Doomfist and Eichenwald, and just was a massive part getting of the Chimps win. Getting these 4Ks, just dominating the skybox on the Pharah. I do think Gallant did a fantastic job.
Yes.
He really came alive, and I don't think it's really a standout minus that Pharah performance. I do think all of the Chimps did a very strong job. But I do think from that far performance, we got to give it to Gallant. He was just insane.
Oh, yeah. Well, then stay tuned. We're going to be throwing to a quick break as we bring our interviewee into the booth because we are going to be interviewing someone from the Chimps, hoping for Gallant. We'll see how things go. So stick around. We're going to throw to a quick break and we're going to be back with a quick interview. So see you guys in a couple of minutes. Quick, Spooky, do something with your hands. Oh, damn it. Spooky's in the bathroom, but we can just grab somebody in and have them join the casting booth. Yeah. Try and just grab Gallant. Yeah.
Alright.
Hello. Hey. Congrats on your win.
Oh,
Spooky's just in the bathroom, so as soon as he gets back, we can. Oh,
alright.
okay. Welcome back, everybody, to Inspire Esports. We just watched the Chattanooga Chimps beat out. That was the Meat Mafia 3-2-1, and now we are joined in the booth with our MVP player, Gallant from the Chimps. Gallant, how are you feeling after that win?
Pretty good. I didn't think that we'd actually win it, but we did.
Wait, why not?
Great
Well, we just
mentality
haven't
from the
trimmed
Chimps.
and anything.
Oh wait, so you guys came into this completely like, we're just gonna. It's like jazz. We're just gonna make it up and go, and then
Yeah.
it ended up working out pretty well for you guys, I guess.
I mean, we had one scrim yesterday, but half the team wasn't there, so
Oh,
we're still figuring out who plays what role.
well, I mean, hey, it looks like you guys were able to stabilize a little bit towards the end there, because honestly, you guys looked really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Gallant, I think that does answer a little bit of my next question in that time and time again, you guys would start out, we saw on Eichenwald, on Rialto, just honestly absolutely getting rolled by the Meat Mafia's offense. But then suddenly, on your point C's and again on Hanamura, you guys face down like a 4 or 5 minute time bank, and something clicks and you guys hold. And you just held for so long on so many different points. how does that really happen? We saw compositional changes, we saw swaps coming in, but what's really going through your mind when you're facing down like a 5-minute time bank, and how does the mentality happen to let you hold on to those points?
I mean, we're all staying pretty positive, but we're trying to figure out like what our best comp was, so it was a bit experimenting too. And then we just kind of figured it out at the end. And then where people got like hyped up.
You take that energy and roll.
People got hyped up. You guys started playing better. Yeah, it definitely. Marcus and I were talking about. It's like we're like, well, they're swapping comps again. Maybe this will work out for them, and it suddenly did. So I'm sure you guys will be able to come back to this match and look at a couple things and see exactly what worked and what didn't.
Yeah.
And Gallant, I have to ask you, I think the changing point, the TSM turning point, if you will, for this match was when we saw you swap onto the Doomfist and start really messing up the Meat Mafia. What was going through your head when you made that swap?
I just wanted to get back to point faster.
Okay. Well, you did that perfectly, honestly.
Like, my plan was to play Genji, but I decided to stick with Doom.
It worked. It absolutely worked. But that 4K at the end of Eichenwald to cap the map is definitely etched in my mind when I was choosing an MVP. So fantastic work on not only getting back to point, but also just dominating it.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us, and say congrats to the team for us. But do you have anybody you would